So Votex365 started out as an idea that was brought to me by the current CEO of the company. His name is Steven, and I'm the one who built the entire platform. Back then, I used Python Flask. And honestly, in the beginning, I didn't really see the value of an e-voting platform, right? I mean, e-voting, back then, I didn't even understand what that whole concept was. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's try it out and see. Because at that point, I think I had tried out my own ideas for some time and hadn't really seen much come out of it. I just decided, you know what? Let me just try this and see how it goes. So I built a platform, Python Flask, and it was a very simple platform. I think I could actually even show you. I no longer have the that platform anymore. And I mean, it's not something that I would like to show in the first place. But I think I can show you what it used to look like. So yeah, this is what it used to look like just like this one, right? Very simple. This was the kind of graph. This was actually what the homepage looked like. Yeah, and this is what the contestant page looked like. So it wasn't really that good. This is our Instagram, by the way. You can go and follow us. It wasn't really that good, but it was something. At least it was functional. It was the functionality that was the most important thing to me back then. So it was functional. Cool. So we had our very first event, and I think the event was it She Classical? She Classical Award. I think that was no. The very first event was WISE KNUST, Women in Science. Yeah. Okay, so actually it was those two. It was Women in Science and She Classical. She Classical was from what's the name of the school? Armstead. I think that's how you pronounce that. Um I can't give you the full name right now. I'd have to check. But let me see. I think I can even check right now. But while I'm checking, let me continue the story. So we had our very first two events and I was blown away. Oh yeah, okay, so it's Amusted. Oh, I was right, Amusted. Let me show you real quick. So I can think. My pronunciation is so bad. I can think, Menka, University of Skills, Training and Entrepreneurial Development. Cool. Right. So that was one of our very first events along with YSK and University Women in Science, right? Okay. So we had a very first event and I was so surprised at the amount of money that actually came in because I wasn't really expecting that much out of it, right? And the amount of money blew me away because that was the first time I think I ever saw a bank account with over 10,000 Ghana cedis in it, right? Was it 10? Yeah, I think it was over 10,000 Ghana cedis in it. And I was just bewildered because that was the most amount of money I had seen um back then, right? This was in university, I think second or third year of university, probably second year. Yeah, yeah, I think so. And I mean I was so excited, but then we faced our first main head or our first main challenge. Back then, we weren't registered yet. We weren't registered as a sole proprietorship. We weren't registered as a company. No registration, right? And according to Paystack's rules, their terms and conditions, you have the opportunity to raise, I think, up to 500,000, either 500,000 or 50,000 Ghana cedis. I think it was 500,000 Ghana cedis. I don't know if those are that. I don't know if those terms are still in their rules, but back then you had a limit of 500,000 Ghana cedis, provided you are not like a finance institution or um those risky institutions, right? So far as you're a business, you don't need to be registered. You can use Paystack and raise up to 500,000 Ghana cedis. Um, and you'd be able to withdraw. But once you cross that threshold, you need to be registered, whether as sole proprietorship or LLC, right? Or partnership, whatever the registration. So everything was going well. We were raising the funds were coming in. people were voting, paying to vote, and everything was going smoothly. And all of a sudden, Paystack hits us up and says, "Yo, um, we are freezing your withdrawal, your settlements, right? Because you are not registered." And I'm like, "What? I mean, I literally I was so pissed off. I literally quoted their terms and conditions to them, right? Because like I said, in their terms and conditions, they said we could raise up to this amount without needing to be registered. I quoted their own terms and conditions to them, and they still didn't want to accept their own terms and conditions, which was like crazy. But yeah, so they froze our settlements, and we basically had to plead with them that we would go and get the business registered as soon as possible. But people have already voted, right? And we would need to give the organizers their percentage, and I mean our percentage back then, it wasn't really important because we needed to settle the organizers, right? We needed to give them their money. It was like our business is basically dead before it even started. Because I mean it's all about reputation, right? So we had to plead with them, and eventually it took about, I think it was between 2 weeks and a month before that issue was settled. So they finally decided to allow the settlements to go through, and we had to pause on using Paystack until we got registered. And the registration process wasn't that complicated. We just needed to fill out a few forms, send our details, and then get it registered as a sole proprietorship. So it was registered in Steven's name, right? Since I mean it was basically his brainchild. Um, and since then, I mean, obviously it's a joint. Um, we are all in this together, right? So there are three of us on the team now. Myself, Caleb, and Steven. Caleb is the CFO. I'm the CTO. Steven is the CEO. And now it's registered as a company, an LLC. Okay. But yeah, that's basically how we started. And I mean, after that whole incident, after our first two events, we took feedback from our clients. We got more clients after that. We took feedback from them, and then we built the new and improved version of the platform. So if you actually visit votex365.com now, that is what you see, right? You see the new version of the platform. Obviously, there's still a few things, or a lot of things that I would like to improve on the platform. But right now, it's e-voting mainly. The e-ticketing aspect is also there, but we don't really use that aspect that much. That's something I would like to start using a lot more, moving forward, or moving going into the future. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so yeah, the new platform is there. The new platform currently has, I think the best feature of the new platform is the fact that you have automated flyer generation. So we realized that one aspect of the whole e-voting ecosystem is that a lot of event organizers go through is flyer generation or flyer creation for the contestant. So every single contestant needs a flyer so that they can send that flyer out to their family, their friends. So the friends will see the details of the competition and their specific category to vote for them. So an example of a flyer, an example of the details that would be on the flyer would be like the contestant's picture, the contestant's name, the contestant's voting code, the USSD show code that you dial to vote for the contestant, and then maybe a link to the website and some other stuff, right? I'm gonna try and see if I can find where would I easily find a contestant's flyer. I mean, I could go to the Votex platform and show you what the templates look like, but I'll leave that to you to actually go and visit the platform, sign up, and check it out for yourself, right? Uh, what? Okay. Hmm. Cool. So going on to Twitter. checking, or well, X, it's now called X. Going on to X and checking, let me see if I can find anything. I don't think there'll be anything in media, but I'm sure maybe replies. Actually, I could just go to the Votex platform. I could just, yeah, I could just go to the Votex platform. What am I doing? So, we have automated flyer generation now, which basically just takes the information on the website about the contestant, the category, and the event, and then creates the flyer automatically for the contestants, right? The reason why we decided to do this is because, like I said, we realized that one of the steps in the whole e-voting ecosystem process was flyer creation. Event organizers had to pay graphic designers about 500 to 1,000 CDs for uh, flyer creation for their events, right? Depending on the number of contestants they have within their event. And I mean, it's an expensive part of the process for the event organizers. So we decided to, so initially what we're actually doing was we were creating the flyers ourselves. We had graphic designers on the team who were creating the flyers. Then at a point we didn't have any graphic designers, so I actually had to create the flyers myself, and I was using Canva. Things we've done. So it got to a point that I mean, that's not scalable, right? So we decided to, oh well, it was an idea that I actually came up with based on everything that like I observed. So I decided to build that system. And I started out by getting one of the graphic designers we had worked with initially or previously. Her name is Inshira. I think her handle is designs by Inshi. Definitely check her out because she's actually very good. She's a very good graphic designer, so check her out. We got her to design like the templates for us. So what the code does is basically it takes the template and then it just places the various items onto the template, right? And honestly, getting that to work was quite difficult because where it was a very manual process, right? It's not like we are AI generating the images, because it wouldn't reliably get the various, like it wouldn't reliably get every single image to be exact. And showing you what the flyers look like now, this is what they look like. So you notice um we have the image, we have the contestants code, the platform URL, the voting instructions, the category, the organizations, logos, stuff like that, right? It needs to be consistent across all contestants. So using AI to generate that would not be consistent across all contestants. So we needed to use flyers. And actually, I think I can even open image in new tab. We needed to be consistent. No, I don't want to download. I don't want to download. I think I'd have to use Google Chrome for this because Safari likes to be very interesting. But anyway, yeah. So we had the flyers made, and then we had the I wrote the code to actually I painstakingly wrote the code to actually place everything where it needed to be, right? So like I said, you can check out the platform, sign up you go to dashboard, sign up as an event organizer, and then you can just take a look through everything and see the various templates that are available. Right. So that was basically how Votex started. That was how I saw my first 10,000 in an account. That was that's basically the story, right? And next time I'll be telling you about our very first our very first unfortunate incident. So I told you about the very first hurdle we had to cross. The next time I'll be telling you about our very first misfortune, and it was a very hectic time, but I mean we're still here today, so obviously we've been able to overcome that. But yeah, I think it's a story that you really want to miss because I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but just stay tuned. All right.